Dying Light the Beast. I've played over 107 hours of this game, completed the main story, still got a few bits and collectibles and bits and bobs to do. Here's my thoughts. I always like to talk about the expectations I have before we continue, and my expectations for the Beast were middling to going high. I understand that obviously this game was planned as a DLC. Kind of expectations were a bit muted to think, is it kind of the big full game experience? And it is. If you have watched one of my videos before, you will know that basically story doesn't mean a great deal in games. The story is there to facilitate the gameplay, in my opinion. There are certain games that are designed to tell a good story, but for the most part, open world games like The Beast, it is just literally there to facilitate smashing zombies. And this story, we go back to Kyle Crane from the first Dying Light and continue his story. Basically, he's been captured, he's been experimented on, and now he can become the Beast and do beast powers, hence the name. If you want to categorise which version of Dying Light this is more like, I'd say it's more like probably the DLC Dying Light the Following. Gone are the paraglider things from number 2, more back to basics, being in a bit of an open world where you have a mixture of basically town and farmlands. The world itself is pretty cool. It's a great sandbox, basically running around, smashing zombies. There is various collectibles that you can get as well. One thing I love about the world and the way that it is, because nighttime's back again. The whole nighttime thing of not being outside because the volatiles come after you and kill you. So the world itself, opening safe houses and going to safe zones and putting electricity on, it actually means something in this game. So you actually, it's not like the Far Cry games where you go somewhere and just feel like you're ticking a box. Initially, when you're in this game, opening the next safe house and maybe staying there the night before you continue on the story mission or many of the side missions, it feels really good to actually be opening these areas up. There's a lot of side activities you can do as well besides just side missions. Obviously you got the races that generally come with these games. Some of them are a bit annoying, to get the gold medal. And also you have the treasure maps, which is great. I love that kind of thing. The treasure maps where basically every treasure map that you do, you find the area, you go inside, and you will find a legendary weapon. Usually hit or miss, but there's some good legendary weapons out there, and the weapons are pretty good. You can still mod your weapons, put different bits on, upgrade them. You've got a variety of different utilities like lure devices for the zombies, or Molotov cocktails, grenades, homemade pipe bombs that can all be upgraded to max level. One thing that I find is there's a bigger emphasis on guns. I mean, guns actually fire like you think they would do in a first-person shooter, and there's been a lot more attention put into them. I found that I was rocking as many guns as I was rocking the old melee weapons this time. The parkour system's still there, and it's still as great as ever. Just when you get that rhythm going of jumping over zombies, jumping through things, going through gaps, sliding under things, it's cool. It is pretty cool, and it's still a massive enjoyable element of the game. So the biggest hook of the game is the fact that now that Kyle Crane has beast powers, and basically the beast powers, you kind of build up rage and then release that and go into a special fighting mode. This is all upgraded through your skill tree. The skill tree is not just there for the beast mode. Obviously, it's there for parkour, health, melee, gun accuracy, and other various things. But the most important one to look at is the beast mode. And as early as possible, try and unlock the ability to activate beast mode when you want. Because when you hit rage meter, you will just go into beast mode. One of the early skills or midway skills is activate it yourself. So you can kind of keep the beast mode in reserve for when you most need it. It is a great addition to the franchise, however, it feels a little bit muted. It's essentially just a rage mode and, jump a bit higher. It would have been great to have had kind of more passive skills with beast mode. you know, basically unlock a certain beast mode and you can run faster, jump faster, but these are all activated when you actually go into beast mode. So it kind of would have been nice for some of those beast abilities to spill into basically everyday hitting zombies and parkour. On the zombie side, I wouldn't actually say that there's any new kind of great additions to the roster of bad guys, but it hits all the marks, and the various different types of running zombies and tough zombies and spitting acid zombies are all present in certain forms. Graphically, the game is as good as any other Dying Light. I know it's been said that it doesn't push the boundaries of current gen consoles or PCs, but it's nice to sit and play a game that runs at a solid 60 frames per second. The graphics are pretty good. Yes, it's got invisible walls and odds and sods because it's an open world game and, you know, the odd bits being missed. But that said, it's still a really pretty game. You know, when the sun sets and the night comes through, to me it looks great. It runs great, and I encountered minimal bugs through my time with it. It crashed once.
Bullshit.
With it crashed once. That was it. I was playing on PlayStation 5 Pro, but from what I understand, it pretty much runs well on the other consoles, and I don't believe the requirements for PC are particularly heavy. Sound in the game is great. It hits all the marks with the zombie noises and the squealing of the volatiles at night. It's pretty eerie, pretty good. And there's the actual music in it as well. It's reminiscent of In the House in a Heartbeat by John Murphy, which was kind of the theme to the 28 Days franchise, and it mainly kicks in when you're driving around in the car. I mean, I've got to come clean about something. I absolutely adore zombie games. There isn't many zombie games I don't like, to be honest. This squarely fits in the action zombie game genre. Just bear in mind I might be just a little bit biased against zombie games. But with that said, I have a few complaints. Not too many, but a few. This game is clearly the product of what was meant to be a DLC. It doesn't cost a lot, but it definitely feels like the game could give more. Now, that could be a positive or a negative. I do want more from this, you know, but I didn't spend a great deal of money on it. I did enjoy it. I loved my time with it. I will go back to it to finish off bits and bobs. It doesn't really bring anything new to the franchise. Yes, you become the beast and whatnot, but it is definitely square in that DLC range. It doesn't move the franchise forward massively. There isn't great leaps in technology or great leaps in storytelling or enemies, baddies, weapons or concept. Got to give kudos to the developers because they pretty much told us what it would be. And to be honest with you, I won't say we, I did want something like this, you know, and it is great. I think I want more. I think that's the thing. And it's a great slice, and I'm hoping for some DLC. So in some ways it's kind of a false negative, because I did really enjoy it. Things that kind of wound me up a bit really were the fact that we could have implemented the beast powers a little bit more, but then that could be brought to life in maybe different games. And the zombies just continuously grabbing you is still just a pain in the arse. You can't seem to move without them trying to grab you. To avoid this, I just made 100 at a time throwing knives, which when they grab you, you can hit L1 and just instantly kill them with a stab to the head. In conclusion, I've really enjoyed my time with the game. I really enjoyed it. It's great, you know. Negatives being I want more, which isn't a bad thing. Well, that's about all I've got to say on it. So all that's left for me to do is say bye.